This gold trade right here gave me about 1,700, right? Let me show you exactly what happened on this particular trade from the forecast, entry, trade management, all the way to where the market is right now. All right, so let's start from the beginning right here. So you can see that yesterday early in the morning, I was able to forecast this beautiful trade on gold right here, where I was looking for it to actually come to this level right here after taking out the Asian high right here. And then guess what? The market eventually came to this level right here. However, this market ended up becoming a loss. Let me show you right here. So the first trade that we took was this right here, where the market did exactly as I wanted. The market started to even to actually retrace after taking out the high. However, the market didn't stay very long. The market pulled back, even if it actually decided to reverse like this, right? The market ended up going against us, and we took a loss on that one. All right, so then I noticed there was a zone just above this level right here. So the market where I was trying to sell from was this level right here. So when I saw that the market took out that level, I was like, okay, the market most likely took that as liquidity. And then I went to the next zone that met my criteria, which was on top right here, which is a rather best drop supply zone. This is as liquidity. And then once the market came to this level, I saw the market reacting from that level right there. And then when I saw that, I was like, okay, I'm going to go back in, 25 pips stop loss and 12 pips target right there. So you can see I was able to actually take this particular trade, and after some time we saw the market starting to move in our direction with big beautiful momentum candles right there. I was like, great, we go break even right now. And we went break even, and then guess what, the market continued to drop in our direction. At this particular point we we're up like 8 hours, and then we're remaining with about 4 hours for us to reach take profit, right? And then guess what happened? The market started to actually, we secured about 4 hours at this level right here. We secured about 4 risk reward ratio at this level right here. And then guess what happened? The market started to reverse, and guess what? We were taken out at this level right here. We exited with about 4 risk reward ratio. And then guess what happened? The market just takes us out from there, and as you can see what happens, the market took us out from here, went to the upside and almost came to our entry, and then we saw the market dropping. It dropped all the way to this level right here, then came back, and then eventually came to our take profit. The price action this week has been crazy. It's very difficult for you to be able to actually sit and watch this market unless you're just out of the market, you're just taking the trade and then you're out of the market, because the market literally came back to our entry right here, dropped surpassing the level we were at, and then went back again to the entry, which would have been another setup right there. Right, this is another setup right here. If you can look at it, this market would have actually taken a trade from here, and then would have actually gotten there, but I wasn't in the market to be able to take that secondary entry. However, this is what happened right here. The market ended up going all the way to our take profit that we'd actually forecasted, and we got out with about a 1 to 4 when the market eventually went to about a 1 to actually 13 risk reward ratio, which was our initial take profit right there. This just speaks and attests to the strength and how good our strategy is, because this happened the same way with yesterday's trade where the market was really choppy, but eventually went to our take profit. Beautiful. It was just a nice rather best drop supply zone with multiple block of structures. Liquidity right here. The market takes out that liquidity, comes to a pure high. Guess what? The market eventually goes to our take profit. Not in a straight way like just right there and then, but eventually they went to our take profit after a few hours. And unfortunately, the price action was crazy. That's the reason why I wasn't able to actually just stick with it all the way, because it's very difficult for you to be able to do that unless you're taking partials. But the way we trade, by trading our stop losses, most of the times you end up just being tagged out, and market goes back. And this is too risky, guys. You can't let the market go all the way here while keeping your profits. I don't think you can do that. If you can do that, well and good. But for me and how I trade, I prefer trading my stop loss as the market is going in my direction, so that I'm getting paid, right? Because this price action can easily just go all the way to your stop loss and stop you out right there. All right, now let's go to the higher time frame for you to be able to understand why I was looking for sales on this particular trade right here. Let's start from the 4-hour time frame. So 4-hour time frame, what is it telling me? So you can see that of late we've seen the market actually going to the downside. So because of that, I was clearly looking for sales, right? And then also what gives me the direction of where I'm supposed to be trading from is the Asian session as well. So you can see that the trend here has been bearish. So now let's look at how the Asian session formed. So you can see that once the high of the Asian session is taken out, like I said yesterday, once the high of the Asian session is taken out like this, then I'm anticipating the low of the Asian session to be taken out. That's how I look at it right there. So once this was taken out, I was anticipating the market taking out the low right here, and the market eventually did exactly just like that, just like I forecasted it yesterday. And now you can see that in today's price action right now, we can see that market is nearer to the low of the Asian session, and because of that, I'm going to look for buying opportunities to take the price here so that we can take out the Asian high. So we'll see how that happens right there. So because of that, I saw a nice drop-based rally with liquidity. The market pulled back into my zone, and we're able to take this particular trade. Like I showed you, I've already showed you how this trade went in terms of our trade management, and everything was updated in our premium signals community right here, because you can see that we end up getting out with about a 1 to 4, and then the market decided to actually trick us out and then ended up going all the way to a take profit. And that's just part of the market, guys. So that's how it is. And I shared this forecast, the initial forecast right here, to in our Facebook. And unfortunately, the first zone here didn't hold. The one that ended up holding was the one above right there. And then that's some of the perks you get when you're part of our private community, because once the first zone fails, it's not that we stop trading. No, we look for other opportunities, because my thesis was still bearish. So once I have another setup, I automatically take the particular trade, and I'll be able to take that in our private community. All right, this was really nice, and I made a nice $1,700 on this one. And yeah, let's see how today's goes and everything. All right, you guys, just thought I'll actually update you guys on what happened on this particular trade. Until next time, goodbye.